When I was younger, I would make little skits or home videos that we could turn into movies. I would give my siblings all these parts to act out, all these lines. I would cut up our little plays and our scripts into little movies that we could watch at the end of the night. Progressively, these projects turned into something outside of family, but I always was the one that was lugging around this huge camera to all our family gatherings and vacations. I would take photos and videos of my family and I going on trips. I would do our family portraits for the Christmas card every year, and I was very rarely in the photo. It was more my view of everyone around me. This always kind of depressed me. I would look back at like family albums that I had put together and see that I was in none of the photos that I had taken. So as I became a teen and like a young adult, early 20s, I started taking a lot of videos and pictures of my life and my friends, not just my family, and I would turn it into a little montage that I would play at the end of the year and send to all my friends. All these montages mostly still excluded me, but it felt more personal because I was the one behind the photos. It wasn't just about my family, but it was also about the world and what I found beautiful or meaningful for those months of my life that I had made into a montage. I was never the focal point, but my view or my eyes for the world was kind of the focal point, if that makes sense. I stopped making these videos and I took down the old ones from my channel last year after exiting an abusive relationship and many bad friendships, because all those videos kind of served as a reminder of all these people that I had viewed with such high esteem and put on a pedestal, even though they didn't treat me well. I was scared of my own capacity to romanticize pain and romanticize bad relationships, to highlight the narrative that I had put around myself to stay in these bad relationships and sustain my own level of happiness, or I was scared of my ability to highlight all of these people in such a good light and romanticize them, make them look beautiful under the lights and the montage supercut of my memories. And many of these moments were still beautiful. They were framed around something very painful and violent, but the memories themselves existed on their own as something that was easy to romanticize, poeticize, or value with beauty. I've been reading Notes on Heartbreak by Annie Lord. It's an amazing book. You should definitely read it. I'm not all the way done yet, but there is a part in this book that reminded me of all these old montages and videos I used to make of people that had hurt me. Annie Lord writes, "A lot of the time, the only way to withstand pain is to poeticize it. Imagine it as something beautiful, unparalleled. Why suffer for something ordinary?" Beauty in retrospect is kind of a complicated idea. It makes me kind of sad to read old journals and have the full picture years later and realize I was romanticizing something that was not good for me in order to withstand it. But what really grips me the most is the image. We're taught in so many writing workshops and art workshops of any kind that you're supposed to look for images, condense beauty into a single moment. And that's what I was doing a lot of the time with making these montages, romanticizing people and romanticizing my life, not only just to withstand it, but because that's what I do as a writer, is I'm looking constantly for these images. And so I've stopped making montage videos, but I still have so many random videos on my phone of moments that I found too beautiful to ignore. When I was going through a breakup in 2020, I was desperate for some kind of relief or release, and I DM'd one of my favorite writers on Instagram, Shannon Barry, who I quote a lot on this channel. I asked her how to withstand the grief after a relationship ends and you're realizing that someone doesn't love you anymore. Maybe they never did love you in the way that you thought that they loved you. I said some sort of nonsensical thing asking for her help because I always turned to her writing when I was hurting in the way that I was when it came to heartbreak. And she messaged me back, and what she said has stuck with me. She said, "Remember that everything that they loved about you is still there. All of those things are still you." I think why I'm so drawn to images and videos of my own life is because they showcase me and the life that I'm living in a way that proves that I'm loved and that I'm lovable, which is what I'm innately searching for. When I finish these videos, I feel like it makes me feel capable of showing that I'm lovable and that I have a life full of people to prove it. After so much loss, it's hard to look back on these videos and see that the way I romanticize or put people on a pedestal for the way that they love me maybe was not correct. Or to look back and see that these people no longer love me, then what does that do with my claim and my idea that I was putting so much into? But that little line has stuck with me, and I think it can be applied to this situation, that I am still all those things. I am still all these people that love me, and the reasons that I felt that they loved me prove, not just proof that I'm lovable, but proof that I can see the world in a beautiful way, and I could give myself the same love that I felt I was getting at the time when I was making these montage videos. And just because love is impermanent doesn't mean it's not real. I still experience these things and these emotions and joy, and they still exist in that capsule, even if they're hard to look back on. And despite everything that has changed, something that hasn't changed is myself. My capacity to find beauty in things, in other people, in experiences, in my own view of the world, and in myself. So despite all the old montage videos being taken down from my channel, I did want to immortalize some of my camera roll and the things that I was so drawn to, that even in my hiatus of montage making, I still yearned to capture these specific moments for some reason. Some little thing was tugging on my heart saying, this is an image, this is something I want to immortalize and keep forever. So here's that.
I'm watching everything go sideways, and I can't do a thing to make it stop. I won't remember this tomorrow, but I'll be sad when I wake up. I wish we were back in your apartment. I want you to sing me to sleep. I'll forget my wallet, so I'll have to come back, and you won't forget me. Thought it was only fair, but I swear I didn't think it through this far. You chose this first, so I didn't think it hit me quite this hard. I don't wanna see this part. I'm watching everything go sideways. Feels like someone's messing with my head. I'm not prepared to never know you again. I'm sorry, can we stop this instead? Thought it was only fair, but I swear I didn't think it through this far. You chose this first, so I didn't think it hit me quite this hard. I don't want